الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونشكره ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله وبعد فاعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا ايها الذين امنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن الا وانتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما صدق الله العظيم. We praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we glorify Him. We beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His mercy and His forgiveness. We beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His protection and His guidance. We beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to witness Ramadan and to accept all our fasting and our sadaqat and all our good deeds. And we beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us for our shortcomings and our mistakes. We beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that those who are difficulties to grant them ease, those who are sick to grant them shifa. We beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that those who have returned to Him from this ummah, especially those who are close to us, we beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have mercy upon them, to forgive them and to reunite them all of us in Jannatul Firdaus. Ameen. My dear gathering, in a few hours, inshallah, we will all witness that season that we are all waiting for with passion. That season that we are longing for. And for those of us whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant life, we will witness a change in our routine, a change in our rhythm of life, a change in our frame of mind, and a change in our mood. The atmosphere will be different in our masajid, in our homes, in our community. And why is it we Muslims look forward for Ramadan with so much passion? It's because we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with many divine gifts in this month of Ramadan. Ramadan is the month of mercy and forgiveness. Ramadan is the month in which the reward for our good deeds are being multiplied. Ramadan is the month of Al-Quran. Ramadan is the month in which there is one night that is better in merit than 1,000 months. Ramadan is the month in which our dua is being accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But what I want to address today, my dear brothers and sisters, is not the big things. It's not the fasting and the zakah and the tarawih. Because we have a mentality to focus on the big things. But what I want to focus on today are how can we make this Ramadan our most beautiful Ramadan? And what beautifies something is not the walls and the windows and the roof. What beautifies something is the small things, or the details. This masjid is beautiful because of the details. So I want to address the things that can beautify our Ramadan and the things that can make our Ramadan or can break our Ramadan. And the small things takes time and takes attention and it's tedious. But if we pay attention to it, This can be our most beautiful Ramadan. And the first thing I want to address is that we need to make sure that before we start our Ramadan in a few hours, that our hearts are clean. The Prophet ﷺ was sitting with his companions, and he said to them, a man will come through the door right now, and he is from the people of Jannah. And all eyes were pointed at the door. Everyone wants to see who is that. And they saw a man who was a simple companion. We don't even know his name. Was not a famous warrior. Simple man, he walked through the door. And the second day, the Prophet ﷺ, he said the same thing. A man will come through that door, and he is from the people of Jannah. And the same man entered. And the third day, the same thing. And the companions became intrigued. Why? Because they all wanted to know what is the secret to Jannah. And that is all what we are all after, Jannah. So one companion, he went to that man and he said, can I stay with you? Can you be my host for a few days? And the man said, you're welcome. But his mission was to see what is the secret of this man. That the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّهُ مِنْ أَهْلِ الْجَنَّةِ. And all we saw was this man prays like everyone else, does his chores like everyone else, and go about his daily business. And after the 3 days, his companion said, I have to confess, the only reason I came here, I heard the Prophet ﷺ said, you are from the people of Jannah. What is your secret? Teach that to me. And the man said, there is nothing special. There is nothing special. But one thing, I make sure before I go to bed at night, my heart is clean. There is no envy, there is no animosity, there is no greed, there is no arrogance. I make sure my heart is clean and pure. And how does this relate to Ramadan? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. And then He says, التَّقْوَى هَاهُنَا. Taqwa is in the heart. So for taqwa to enter our hearts, for us to benefit from Ramadan, we need to make sure that our hearts are clean. So before we start our Ramadan, before Maghrib prayer, pick up that phone and call your brothers and sisters and say, I am sorry. I forgive you. Please forgive me. Please ask Allah for His forgiveness and mend your relationship. Why? Because Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us in the month of Shaban, and we're still in Shaban, on Mondays and Thursdays, our needs are presented to Allah. And Allah accepts all our needs, except two people, بَيْنَهُمَا شَحْنَةٌ. Between them, there is animosity, there are problems, there are unsolved issues. And Allah will say to them, leave them aside. Put their needs on hold until they mend their relationship. My dear brothers and sisters, we have fasted and observed many Ramadans. Many have been to Hajj and Umrah and give your zakat and charity. Are you willing to risk that? That all your good deeds are on hold? Because you don't want to forgive someone, you don't want to say sorry, you don't want to mend a relationship, which is more work for you. So let us make sure we don't put our deeds on hold because of someone else. It doesn't work. Let us make sure we cleanse our heart. And number two, my brothers and sisters, it is easy for us. The easiest fast is for us to stay away from food and drink. That's the easiest fast. The most difficult fast is for our eyes and our ears and our tongues to fast. So let us make sure we don't take it for granted. Make sure that you are protecting your heart by protecting your eyes, and protecting your tongue and your ears, and protecting the limbs of your body, and protecting your environment. Make sure when you come to the masjid in the month of Ramadan, when you go to family gathering, when you mix with people, that they are not people who gossip and backbite. They are not people whose tongues are filthy. Make sure you are in an environment that can help to protect your heart. Number 3, my brothers and sisters, simple things. If we want to beautify our Ramadan, do it through others. Beautify your Ramadan through others. And how do you beautify your Ramadan through others? When you give a sip of water to someone, it is not a favor to that person. That person is doing a favor to you. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, مَا مِن مُسْلِمٍ يَغْرِسُ غَرْسًا أَوْ يَزْرَعُ زَرْعًا. That a Muslim will not sow a seed or plant a plant except if a bird benefits from it, or a human being, or an animal. It is sadaqah for you. It is sadaqah for you. If an animal eats from the food you put outside, it's sadaqah for you. What about you feeding someone? And you don't have to be wealthy. You don't have to write a check for 10,000, 15,000. Every one of us can offer a meal to someone. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, even have a date. And what's the return on that investment? The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, أَطْعِمُ الطَّعَامِ. When you feed someone, what do you get? Jannah. That's the return of your investment. And it's all about your intention. And intention can make a small deed big in the sight of Allah. And an intention can make a big deed small in the sight of Allah. So let us make sure that we, especially in this month of Ramadan, with everything that is happening in our country and in the world at large, let us make sure we make an effort to feed those that are in need. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us about a man who saw a dog that was eating the mud out of thirst. And the man took his shoes and got water from the well and fed that dog. What the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, what's the return of that investment? Just by giving water to a dog, إِنَّهُ مِنْ أَهْلِ الْجَنَّةِ. He will earn Jannah because of that. What about us feeding a human being? We can beautify our Ramadan through others by making sure we visit those who are sick. And there are many people who are sick in our community. And it's not a favor you do to that person. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, when you visit the sick, the angels cover you with their wings from the time you left your home until you return, and they make dua for you. So by you visiting a sick, that sick person is doing you a favor. When you hear about the janazah, you will go there and pray for that person. But it's actually an opportunity for you to beautify your Ramadan. Because Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, when you perform janazah for someone, you get the reward equal to the size of Mount Uhud, the vast Mount Uhud. And when you follow the mayyit to the cemetery until the burial is over, you get twice that reward. So when you hear about the janazah, especially in the month of Ramadan, where our deeds, the reward for these are multiplied, make an effort. Whether you know that person or you don't know that person, you don't even know their name, you hear about the janazah, show up for a few minutes and earn the reward the size of Mount Uhud. You can earn and beautify your Ramadan through others by making sure you practice giving salam more. What's the return of that investment? Just like giving salam to your brother and sister, giving salam to their sister. You are Jannah. Just like giving salam. So when you come to the masjid and you meet your brothers and sisters, make an extra effort to give more salam. Because Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, when two Muslims reach other and they greet with salam, with sincerity, their sins are forgiven before they depart. These are simple things every one of us can do. Even if those who are not fasting, you can do this. You can beautify your Ramadan by smiling to your brothers and sisters. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, what he says? Smiling is sadaqah. And there was no one going to have a smile than Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So smile more. Even when you are fasting or hungry, smile in the face of your brother. Show them that you are happy, you are content. So let us make sure we especially focus on beautifying our Ramadan through others. Number 4, my brothers and sisters, practice restraint. We will restrain from food and drinking in the daytime, but let us make sure we stay away from arguments. And what's the return of that investment? Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says that Jannah is guaranteed for someone who stays away from an argument, even though he and she know that they can win. You know you can win that argument, but you stay away from it. Jannah is guaranteed for you. So do you prefer to win the argument, or do you prefer to win Jannah? Which one do you choose? And these are little things we can practice in the month of Ramadan. And if we do that, inshallah, you will find that this will be your most beautiful Ramadan. Number 5, my brothers and sisters, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us that whoever says Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, Subhanallah al-Azim, very light on the tongue, and we can all say that. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. When you say that 100 times in the day, your sins are forgiven even if they are much as the foam of the ocean. And these are things, my brothers and sisters, that can help to beautify our Ramadan. Those pockets of time we have when you stop at the stop light, when you are at the doctor's office, when you are in the public transportation, when you are waiting for someone. Just say Subhanallah wa bihamdihi and keep saying that, and you will find that this Ramadan will be different from all your previous Ramadan. I beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for my forgiveness and your forgiveness. Astaghfiruhu innahu huwal ghafurur rahim. Alhamdulillah wahdah wassalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'da. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. My dear gathering, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he was once on the member and he said Ameen. And then he said Ameen. And then he said Ameen for a third time. And after the khutbah, the companion said, Ya Rasulullah, what was that about? He said, the angel came to me and he says, Rabbi man. And I said, Ameen. He says, Rabbi man, I said, Ameen. He says, Rabbi man, I said, Ameen. The angel said, may his nose be rubbed in the dark. Shame on that person. Who? Man adraka Ramadan wa lam yughfar lahu. The person who witnessed Ramadan, the person that Allah blessed with Ramadan, but did not get his or her sins forgiven. He says that person is a loser. My dear brethren, this is something very simple. All of us know to say Astaghfirullah, Astaghfirullah, Astaghfirullah. Beautify your Ramadan with a lot of istighfar. Why? Because the whole goal of Ramadan is to gain Allah's forgiveness. The whole month of Ramadan that we will fast and give our zakat and Sunday night, all of that we will do, and all the sacrifice we will make. من قام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. Whoever observes Ramadan with Iman in the right way, with great expectation, what's the goal? غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. All your sins are forgiven. So let us make sure that this Ramadan we will make istighfar more than any other time. And why it is so important and so beautiful? Because when you make istighfar, you may say that I did not do anything wrong. Why should I say astaghfirullah? Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did not do anything wrong. But he used to make istighfar more than 100 times a day. What about you and I? Muslim by day and by night. When you make istighfar, you are purifying your deeds. Because during your fasting you made some mistake. In your salah you made some mistake. That is why when we pray, as soon as we say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, what do we say? Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. We just pray, we didn't do anything wrong. But we are saying Astaghfirullah. Why? Because we want Allah to purify, accept that deed. If after you do a Hajj, the greatest act of worship, at the end of it, what do we say? Astaghfirullah, for Allah to purify and accept our deed. So when you will be fasting and giving your charity and doing all the good deeds in Ramadan, make sure you purify by constantly saying Astaghfirullah. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us, Tuba liman wajada fi sahifatihi istighfaran kathira. Good news of Jannah. For who? The one in whose record will be a lot of istighfar. And there's no better time for us to do it than in the month of Ramadan. When you make istighfar, it's a means for Allah to protect you. وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُعَذِّبَهُمْ وَأَنْتَ فِيهِمْ وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ مُعَذِّبَهُمْ وَهُمْ يَسْتَغْفِرُونَ. As long as there are people amongst us who are saying, do istighfar, Allah's punishment will not fall upon us. And when you make istighfar, as Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us, Allah takes away your stress and your problems. من لزم الاستغفار جعل الله له من كل ضيق مخرجا. Whoever constantly makes istighfar, Allah will show you a way out of your grief and your difficulties and your sadness. Allah will take away your stress. وَرَزَقَهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ. And Allah will provide for you. Just by making istighfar, Allah will increase your risk, your sustenance. So if you have problems finding a job, you have problems with your children, فَقُلْ اسْتَغْفِرْ رَبَّكُمْ. And the tongue of Nuh alayhi salam, Allah told us, He told His people, do istighfar. What Allah will do for you? يُمْدِدْكُمْ بِأَمْوَالٍ وَبَنِينَ. Allah will increase your sustenance. Allah will take care of your children for you. So if you have problems with financial problems, you have problems with your home, with your children, one of the ways to get ease is to constantly make istighfar. And we will be doing all these good deeds in Ramadan. You know what's the secret for Allah to accept our deeds? For us to start with istighfar. Sulaiman alayhi salam, when he wanted Allah to grant him a kingdom, he did not say, Allah grant me a kingdom. He said, Rabbi Firli, Wahabi, and all the prophets in Al-Quran, what did they start with? Oh Allah, forgive us. Rabbi Firli, Wahabi, Mulkan la yambagi li ahadin min ba'di. So we want Allah to accept all that we will do, inshallah, in Ramadan. Constantly make istighfar. Because when you do that, it's a sign that Allah loves you. Wallahu yuridu an yatuba alaykum. Allah wants to forgive you. Allah loves to forgive you. But you have to make that step. And I started the khutbah by saying we need to purify our hearts before the start of Ramadan. One of the means of purifying our heart is to constantly make istighfar. Because whenever you do something wrong, whenever you commit a sin, there is a stain on your heart. But when you ask Allah for forgiveness, that stain is removed and your heart is polished. So let us purify our Ramadan by constantly, every one of us, young and old, male and female, constantly make istighfar and let it only be a started. We can start with our lips, but let it come sincerely from our heart that, oh Allah, we have wronged ourselves. We are sorry. We are guilty. But we know that you are merciful, you are forgiving, and it's only you can forgive us. So we turn to you alone and we ask for your forgiveness and we make that promise and that commitment that we will not go back to our bad habits and our bad actions. I beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who constantly makes the biggest step forward. I beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those whose heart will be purified before the start of Ramadan. And beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those whose fasting and zakat and salah and all good deeds will be accepted in the month of Ramadan. عباد الله اتقوا الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون أقيموا الصلاة. Brothers, when you stand up, please still the upstairs. There's a lot of brothers at the back. As soon as you stand up, make sure all the upstairs are filled.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة